What's up, NFL fans, and welcome back to the channel. Let's dive deep into Monday night's showdown between the 49ers and the Panthers, a game that was way more of a grind than the final score might suggest. First up, the Niners marched to a methodical, boa constrictor-style win. Their offense wasn't about flashy, explosive plays. Instead, it was classic Kyle Shanahan football. They imposed their will on Carolina's defense with sheer persistence. 3 of their 4 scoring drives were marathon efforts, taking more than 10 plays and chewing up over 6 minutes of game clock each. They just steadily moved the ball in small chunks, converting over 50% of their third downs. And who was at the heart of it all? No surprise, it was the tireless Christian McCaffrey. He was a workhorse, with 22 carries and another 7 catches, racking up over 125 yards from scrimmage. In fact, with that performance, CMC joined an elite club. He became only the 3rd running back in NFL history, alongside Larry Centers and the legendary Marshall Faulk, to have at least 50 games with 50 or more receiving yards. That's just incredible. With Brock Purdy still shaking off some rust, this ground and pound clock control strategy was San Francisco's best path to victory. It was a reminder that this team can win in multiple ways, and Monday night, they showed they can squeeze the life out of an opponent. On the other side of the ball, the Carolina Panthers wasted a golden collection of opportunities. Their defense did everything you could ask for, picking off Brock Purdy 3 times in the first half alone. But what did they get out of it? A measly 3 points. That pretty much tells the story. One of those interceptions gave them the ball at the Niners' 16-yard line, prime scoring position. But that possession ended in disaster, with Bryce Young throwing an interception of his own right in the end zone. On a night where every point was precious, the Panthers' defense handed their offense chance after chance to win the game. But Dave Canales' group just couldn't capitalize. Their offensive performance was a huge disappointment, filled with poor execution and costly mental mistakes. You can't let a team off the hook like that, especially a team as good as the 49ers. Now, let's talk about Brock Purdy. After a triumphant return in Arizona, Monday night was a different story. He definitely showed some rust. Sure, the Niners had that impressive 15-play touchdown drive to start, capped by a Purdy pass to Jawan Jennings. But after that, things got treacherous. Purdy threw interceptions on 3 straight possessions. According to Next Gen Stats, all 3 of those picks came on deep passes of 20-plus air yards. That's the most deep ball interceptions by a quarterback in a single game since Nick Mullins back in 2023. He was leaving too much air under his throws, firing them late, and Carolina's defenders were just waiting. On the 3rd pick, cornerback J.C. Horn completely outsmarted him. Even though Kyle Shanahan defended Purdy's decision-making at halftime, it was obvious to everyone watching that this wasn't the sharp, efficient Purdy we're used to seeing. The anxiety among the 49ers faithful was real. Luckily for him, it didn't cost them the game. But as we head into the high-stakes games of December, San Francisco is going to need their quarterback to be much, much better. The reason Purdy's struggles didn't matter, the San Francisco defense. They turned in an absolutely excellent performance, which is even more remarkable when you consider their injuries. Their defensive leader, linebacker Fred Warner, is out for the season, but without him they still managed to thrive. Guys like Nick Bosa, Yetur Gross-Matos, Michael Williams, Kevin Givens and Tatum Bethune all stepped up. They held the Panthers to just 230 total yards and a stunning 1 for 7 on 3rd down. They completely shut down any hope Carolina had of a comeback. Now, the Panthers' offense has been inconsistent all year, but what the Niners' defense did was still incredible. Defenses aren't supposed to recover from that volume of injuries and still play at such a high level. Defensive coordinator Robert Saleh has found a way to get the absolute most out of the players he has left. It's no wonder he was so fired up on the sideline. This unit is playing way above expectations right now, and they deserve all the credit for shutting down Bryce Young and the Panthers. Finally, we need to talk about the Panthers' offensive game plan, or lack thereof. They have to address their offensive imbalance. This was a 10-3 game late into the 3rd quarter, a close defensive battle. So why did they completely abandon the run? Rico Dowdle, a running back who has had 3 games with over 130 rushing yards this season, got a grand total of 6 carries. He averaged over 6 yards per carry on those. Chuba Hubbard got just 3 attempts, That's 9 total carries for your running backs in a game that finished 29. Yes, falling behind 17-3 changes the game script, but there's no reason to be that one-dimensional. Sometimes you have to be stubborn with the run game to break a big play, but the Panthers never even gave it a chance. Even after Bryce Young's huge passing day last week, this offense will never reach its full potential by leaning solely on its young quarterback. They need to find that balance if they want to finish their surprisingly successful season on a high note. So what are your biggest takeaways from this game? Are you worried about Purdy's performance, or are you more impressed by the Niners' defensive dominance? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more NFL analysis all season long. See you in the next one.